Okay. Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I was laughing at, y'all. I'm gonna tell you what I was laughing at. Okay. Okay. So me and God were spending time together. Um, and when we were spending time together, he allowed me to hear the wicked. Okay. And now I understand why God sometimes be laughing. God be laughing at them because they really do be delusional. If you've ever met, if you ever dealt with like warfare, or you ever met somebody that's extremely wicked, like they're just not good, and they don't know the character of God, they don't know how God really operates. You will see some bold people do some stupid stuff, okay? And I me and God were talking. Me and God are sitting up here talking, and I'm just loving. He's just loving on me. I'm loving on him. All this good stuff. And then one of the wicked people tried to pretend that they was like, "This is God." I'm like, they're really not that smart, are they, God? That's so bad. But the wicked are really not wise. Like I'm like, did they really think I was gonna believe that that was the voice of God? I'm sitting here talking to my father right now. Now me and God are laughing at them, and I said, God. Now I see, now I see, now I understand. I was like, this can't be real, God. Like, this is something out of a comedy movie. I'm like, this is really how wicked people think. They're really that delusional, y'all. Wicked people are really not that wise. They're not as, don't get me wrong, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they have their wicked wisdom, their demonic wisdom, right? But then outside of that, like it's not really much there. Like I couldn't believe they really did it. They tried to impersonate the voice of God. And me, I'm talking to God. Y'all, I'm talking to God. I'm in the spirit and I'm talking to the Father and I'm talking to Jesus. I'm talking to I'm in heaven. And they're trying to impersonate the voice of God. And I'm just like, God, that was a good laugh. I could not believe this. Y'all, I could not believe that they were really that bold to impersonate the voice of God. I'm like, the word of God says, my sheep know my voice, another they will not follow. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. That was a good laugh, y'all. I had a few dreams that was all over the place. I had one dream what some of the people that were quote unquote people that put their mouth on me, like they had to sit down and watch me rap and run. I was running circles around this table, and I got on top of this table in the dream, and I was just rapping, and it was so funny because I'm more so of a singer type of girly. But I was rapping and I was just freestyle. It was pretty good. It was really good. I remember some of the lines that I've said, but one line in particular, Jesus is the pipeline. Now I have a water slide. Now I just made a water slide. I was like, that's kind of funny. God has a sense of humor. Please do not let anybody tell you that God doesn't laugh or God doesn't have a sense of humor. He absolutely does. And I'm gonna tell you, literally, I'm talking to God and then these people he allowed me to hear what they were doing, and I heard the wicked say, this is God talking. I'm like, what? You're not God. And who told you God sounds like that? They're so wicked that they believe their own delusions. They're so wicked, they're so evil, they know nothing about God. And you can tell that right there. And me and God are sitting here laughing. And I'm like, God, now I understand. God be laughing at them because they be out of it. They be far gone. A lot of these people that are really like demonically giving themselves over like that, they are something is not, they missing a couple screws, y'all. That just made me laugh so hard. I was like, what is this? Like, what? What are we doing? Oh my God, they are not serious, right? They were just kidding, right? I said, like, they're not that smart, are they, God? And I'm just, and I said, this is why. I said, now I understand why the angels is like, is this who you really, God? Is this who you love? That this is God? These are your. Why do you care about man so much? And I'm just like, now I understand. I'm like, angels. I'm sorry, they do not speak for all humanity. When we say we got some smart ones, we they're just not on that side of the spectrum. We work for the kingdom, you know. So angels, don't be dismayed. There is yet hope for humanity. The ones who work for the kingdom, you know, yeah, that tickled me so much. I can't believe that just happened. Cause I thought they were joking. I'm like, God, are they joking? I couldn't believe that they did that. This is God. I'm like, but they really do be doing that. They be trying to confuse people, especially when you don't know the voice of God, or you haven't spent enough time with God or read His Word to really get an understanding. And I spend time. My anointing allows me to spend time with God. Cause like for instance, yesterday I was praying and just worshiping, and an hour had went by. An hour and some change had went by. And it didn't even feel like an hour, like literally when I was worshiping, because when I spend time with God, I look for an encounter in any way. And because I'm looking for an encounter, I lose track of time. Like it literally, that's how it is in heaven. Like it doesn't feel like when I have like really vivid visions, I don't remember the time. I don't I don't understand time. Okay? Because when I had that really vivid vision of heaven with Jesus and stuff and the disciples, I did not. I was up there for an hour. When I looked at the clock, when I woke up from not woke up, but when I came out of the vision, I was awake. But when I came out of the open eye vision, when I came out of the open eye, like while I was awake vision, an hour had went past. An hour, an hour had went past, y'all. An hour had went past, and I was like, this didn't even feel like an hour. I could have spent 2 more hours up there. Like it's so time is different in heaven, and it is not different because like you can't feel the difference. Like time goes by faster because you're having so much fun. Heaven is a fun place. Like it's like, oh my gosh, I like. And then when you that's my prayer, is that people will have more encounters with heaven. And the reason I say this is because if you get a piece of heaven, nothing in this world will compare. I listen, I don't have the oil of joy just to have it. No. Listen, there's nothing the devil can offer me that's going to make me trade my eternity. Why? Cuz I've already tasted a little bit of my eternity. You don't have to wait till you're dead to visit heaven. You don't have to this might be a little bit too much revelation right now. Let me wait. Let me wait. But the word of God says the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. He's not just talking about you living in the land and experiencing good. You can experience the good of heaven now. You can talk to God in such a vivid I can't I don't know how to explain it, God. I don't know how to. So I'm not going to, because I don't want to confuse people, and I don't want it to sound all witchcrafty, because it's not. I don't use tarot cards. I'm not burning candles, doing seances, chanting. I'm not doing any of that. I'm literally just. I, I don't want to. I'm gonna leave this alone, because I don't want to bring in confusion, and I don't know if the reason I can do this is because of the anointing that I carry. I'm not sure yet. I'm just not sure, but I just know how me and God can communicate. I know how it is for me. And I don't know if it's like this for everybody, or I know it can be. I know everybody has potential for it to be like it, but I don't know if this is I have to wait. Yeah, I have to wait. You said every racist thing I can think of. See, wicked people. That's it's not funny, but you shouldn't say things like that. But I'm just like, you're so wicked. We're talking about God, and you're bringing up slave ships and EBT. Like, and actually, I can tell that you're not very educated because and the reason I know is because I hope you do know that there are more people that are white that are on SNAP benefits than there are black. So, but you don't know statistics. You don't read. So you wouldn't know that. And I'm not belittling you. I'm just saying, like, you're not, you just haven't read. You haven't read. There are more people that are white that are on EBT and all these different benefits. And, yeah. So, yeah, read. But yeah, so me and God are talking, and they're literally trying to impersonate his voice. I'm like, and it was clearly a woman. I know that this was a woman because she was like, "This is God." I'm like, "Are she serious right now? Like, God, is she serious right now?" I'm like, "Is this what we're doing right now, God? Like, this can't be real. This can't be real, God." She cannot believe. She believes her foolishness. She really believes her delusion that she can talk like she said this is God. No, it's not. No, it's not. My sheep know my voice, another they will not follow. And God doesn't even talk. See, that's what they get wrong. They don't know how God communicates in different ways to his children. So that's God doesn't only communicate just through talking that, but that's what they assume because they don't know God. And I'm like, God, they're not very smart over there, are they? You're doing, and I'm thinking like they are allowed to do witchcraft. This type of witchcraft is dangerous. They don't understand the weight. Now I know Satan is just like Vecna off of Stranger Things. He chooses the most vulnerable people, and he uses these people to do dangerous witchcraft because these people they're not. It's not that they're not good thinkers because there are some people. I'm not to bring praise to them, but there are some people that are on the dark side that are very intelligent. Don't get me wrong; they are smart. Don't underestimate them. But some stuff that they be doing, I just be like, that is not wise. That's not wise. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? And now I know like angels be looking at them like they are not wise. And I have angels. I have people I have heavenly security. And I know they be looking at people that be trying to do witchcraft like, what are you doing? Are you really trying to do this to this girl? Do you know we would get in trouble with God if we allow anything to happen to her? There are some attacks that God will allow to come through, right? Because I have to train. I have to be taught spiritual warfare. God has to teach me how to man my station, right? But at the same time, I know the angels be like, "Oh my God, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening?" And angels be like, "Oh my gosh, Lord, why do you love men so much?" Because they be looking at us like sometimes we do things, and the angels be like, why does God love these beings so much? But they don't understand that God sees us like children. Angels, they're made for a task. So they don't understand. They can understand, but at the same time they don't really understand. Because God yeah, I don't I'm trying to explain it the best, but angels were made for a specific task. And they are loyal to God. And they see some of the stuff that we be doing out here and they be like, oh my gosh, Lord, why do you care so much? I can see that. I can see that. But it's very funny. Me and God just had a really good laugh. And I'm probably finna go back and start talking to him again because that was so funny. I can't believe that was just done. I cannot believe that was just done. But that was funny. That made me laugh. It made God laugh too. God laughs at the wicked, believe it or not. I'm telling y'all. And it's in the Bible where it says God laughs at the wicked because he knows their day is coming. Like he's looking at them like they're doing all this wicked stuff and they don't even know they're just accumulating judgment. They're just accumulating how much trouble they're going to get in. Because eventually, guess what? You can attack me all you want, but your attack has an expiration date. God's not going to let you keep attacking me and attacking me, attacking me. I don't know if it's months, maybe years. I don't know. Maybe it's days. Maybe it's hours from now. You're going to get what's coming to you. You are not going to torment a child of, you are not going to attack. First of all, I'm not tormented. I'm pretty a happy-go-lucky person. I be going through warfare, but the warfare don't change my joy. The warfare doesn't change. It gets on my nerves. It's annoying. But the warfare, God has given me the grace to deal with this level of warfare, right? So a lot of times I be laughing at these people because they really believe that they're not going to get in trouble. That's why God had to start releasing a little bit of judgment on the earth. Because people have to remember, wait a minute, we don't run nothing. God is in control of all this. And oh my God, we're going to get in trouble for the things we have done to people. Yes, yes, you are. You're going to get a lot of trouble. You thought that God wasn't watching. You thought that God didn't see you. He saw everything. You're talking to a God who doesn't need sleep. He doesn't sleep or slumber. You're talking to a God who sees everything. Even the angels have eyes all over their bodies. There is a three wheels, right? In Ezekiel, it talks about the angel with three wheels, and the angel has eyes on every wheel. You think that God doesn't see what you're doing? Even his angels point to the glory of his own sight. The angels point to the glory of God's sight. They have eyes everywhere. What do you think God? What do you think? You think that you think your creator don't see you? You think your creator doesn't know what you're doing? You think that God doesn't see? That's why I don't really be tripping. Because even if I go through warfare, I'm like, God sees everything. And these people are going, listen, sometimes I be scared. That's why, listen, y'all, that's why I told you guys. Sometimes I stay to myself because I know a lot of times people, because of, and this is just from my own personal journey, what I've experienced. A lot of times people aren't healed enough to be around me. And I don't mean this in a sense of I think I'm better than anybody, because I don't believe that. I genuinely don't believe that. But I realize that a lot of people aren't healed enough to be around me. And a lot of times when I go around people, they start manifesting. And I know it's a part of the anointing too, but a lot of times people be dealing with, people be, I don't know. And this is why I kind of say to myself, I listen, I know that there is specific people who are assigned to me. I know that whoever comes to my life, they are assigned to me. They're not perfect, and I don't expect perfection out of people, but I know that they have a grace to be assigned to me. It's very rare. I've spent a lot of time alone because God had to protect what he put inside of me, even from his own church. And the fact that God had to pull me to himself away from his church for me to become what I am, that says a lot about the state of the church. That says a lot about the state of his church. And even in that kind of makes me sad. And that makes me a little bit angry for God. Because how dare you? How dare you? When you really love God, things begin to offend you. Listen, there's things where Jesus yesterday, he told me, calm down. Because I got mad. I got mad at something yesterday. He said, calm down. And I started laughing. That made me laugh. He makes me laugh a lot. But there are some things that people do, and I said, that just pissed me off. They got you messed up, God. What we finna do? What you want to do? And sometimes I'm like, Lord, I'm pretty sure when I get to heaven, my assignment, I'm probably gonna be working with the archangels. I'm probably gonna be working with the archangels because I be ready. What we doing, Michael? Who we finna go beat up? What we doing? What's the plan? Cause they got you messed up, God. They not finna do that. We are about to deal with these people. We're not. They're not gonna just keep doing that to you. They got you messed up. Listen, I be like, Lord, I'm offended for you. What we doing? I'm probably gonna be working with the archangels because I'm just like, never ever play with my you for real. Really? That's what we doing? I don't play about God. I really don't. Now, some stuff I just be feeling sorry for people because I realize that people have like there's some people that have been through so much trauma that it has distorted how they see God, and it's not their fault. It's just they've been through crap, you know. God had to heal me from crap. It never changed my love for God, but sometimes it did change my perspective of God, and so God had to heal me out of certain things so that I could see Him clearer, right? So my visions can be clearer, so they can be unbiased, right? And that's just me being honest. But yeah, but yeah, I the wicked are they're very bold. If you have been around wicked people, or you have God has allowed you to hear your enemies in the spirit. I can hear my enemies in the spirit. So I'm not talking about people that just talking crap about me. God shows me that too through dreams. But I'm talking about like actually wicked people, people that practice witchcraft, that knows that there's a God. They're fully aware that God is real, but they have chosen to do darkness. They have chosen the side of darkness. For whatever reasons, they have their reasons, not good ones, but they have their reasons. And I'm talking about those people, people that have committed their lives to doing evil. Those people. Yes, there are people that are out here who have been in generations of evil, wicked rituals. You know, they that stuff is real. People are doing that stuff. I don't care what the world is telling you. I don't care what you see in the movies. Half the time the stuff you see in movies is what's actually going on. And God has shown me some things, right? And you know, wicked people are very bold, okay? They're very bold with their wickedness. Okay. So please don't underestimate. There are people who are so bold with their evil. Like they see you smile and like, oh, I hate her smile. I'm gonna do witchcraft on her smile so her teeth brought out so she has no teeth. Like there are people that are really that obsessed with other people, that jealous, that I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's one of those things where the enemy has their minds warped. They're obsessed. They're wicked people also are very obsessive. Not in a good way. Not in a good way like, oh, I like this person. I want to get to know them. I want to know about them. I want to know what they like, what they hate, because I want to love them well. Not that type of obsession. There's good obsession, there's bad obsession. I'm talking about stalking. I'm talking about doing witchcraft because they want that, because they want to be like that person, or they hate that person, so they want to get rid of them so they can be that person. It's just, it's, I don't want to understand, because it's just, it's all over the place. It's, I don't want to, they have nothing that I want. There is nothing about the demonic kingdom. I've seen so much wickedness, I don't even desire it. I'm just like, God, I would hate to work for the kingdom of darkness, because look at how they acting. I don't want to act like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to. There is nothing on that side. I don't care how much money he gives them. I don't care how much fame he gives them. Some of these people are not happy. They're not happy people. They're not happy people, y'all. I'm telling y'all. They are not happy. And if they're happy, they're only happy because they're doing evil things to people. That's the only time they become happy. Imagine your happiness being limited to doing evil things. I don't want to do evil things. The children of God, least if you're a child of God, if you're real children, you don't get happy off of ruining somebody's day. You don't get happy off of triggering stuff. You don't get happy off doing weird stuff. That's weird. That is weird. You can't find joy unless you're doing evil. And the word of God talks about that. It says, I think in Proverbs, the wicked are not pleased until they've done something wicked. They wait in ambush for the godly to set traps for them. Literally, that makes them happy. I don't understand that. That is wicked. You're setting traps. You're trying to ensnare a child of God. That is evil. That is so evil. Listen, I'm sorry. That's even after people do crazy stuff to me, y'all. I don't even be mad. I just be like, I'm shocked. Half the time I'm shocked because I'm just like, sometimes it be other Christian. I'm just like, dang, you got to get that darkness out of you. You got to get that darkness out of you because that's not the ways of the kingdom. You cannot go to heaven and do that. They're gonna put you out. We are not. Listen, I'm not playing. This God is not playing with y'all. This new heaven, this new earth, and these new bodies, we are not dealing with no corruption. We're not doing it. We're not having this. There will not be a second Satan. We're not doing that. That's why God is testing us now. That's why God is testing us now. This is a test for heaven. You either pass or you don't. We're not letting nothing up into heaven that's going to corrupt the new thing. We love our home. We love our home and we love the people in it. Listen, y'all, I'm not playing when I say this is my family. And I get emotional because this is my family. I was rejected by my entire family just about because they didn't understand what God was doing in me. I don't blame them. Not anymore. I don't blame myself. It's just my assignment. I had to go through the rejection in order to get to this place with God, and I would do it all over again. Because what I have with God now is incomparable. That's why I don't care who leaves or goes. I have heaven on my side. This is my family. This is my home. I don't want to see this. I don't want to see what happened before it happened again. What happened before with Satan, I don't want to see God go through that. The heartbreak, the fall of humanity, that broke God's heart. I don't want to see that happen again. This is my family and I will protect it. And that's how God feels. He says, I love humanity. But if I have to send you to hell to protect what we have built, the new that is being built, the new bodies, the new heavens, the new earth, if you have to go to hell so that we can protect the goodness that is in this place, so be it. We will protect it at all costs. I will stand as a gatekeeper. I'm sorry you can't come in. People think that God's going to enjoy sending people to hell, and that's not true. They misunderstand him. They misunderstand his heart. That's not true. God is not rejoicing in sending people to hell. He has to. He has to protect what he's built. You think he wanted Satan to rebel? No, Satan was his friend. Satan was his family. That broke the heart of God. That broke God's heart. That's how big his heart is. That's how big his heart is. That he loves without any restraint. I've never seen anything like it. I've never felt love like this. I will never probably ever feel a love like this. Every time I talk to God, I'm always met with the same love. When you stand in the face of love, it's hard to be unforgiving. People hurt me, and I'm like, I let it go because I do not want nothing to separate me from this person, from this love. This love that I have found, I will never let nothing come in between me and him. I don't care what you do. You got malicious intent. Sorry for you. I forgive you. I am not going to allow you to bring a wedge between me and my Father. I will cut you off. And that's what I've been doing. And that's what God is doing. I rather cut you off than allow you to draw a wedge in between me and my Father. God rather cut you off from him than allow you to come into heaven and corrupt the good. We're not doing it. I stand with my Father with when he says, then I will throw you into the weeping and the gnashing of teeth. Listen, heaven, we're not playing. I'm a citizen of heaven, so I can speak for heaven. We're not playing. We're not playing. We're not. This new heaven and earth, these new bodies, we're not allowing any corruption. I'm not saying you got to be perfect. I'm not saying that you have to get everything right. But there is only one way into heaven. One. Through his son, Jesus. He is the key. And not only will you get in through his son, but you will have to go through a process. Yes, you made it in. You accepted his son. You made it in. Now let's go through a process. Let's go through a process. God is not playing. God is not playing about this new thing he's building. Nothing can corrupt it because he's protecting what he's built. And you think that you can do whatever you want, disrespect his son, and think that we're supposed to allow you in? If you are abusive now, you're going to be abusive in heaven. I'm not talking about you make a mistake, you fall into sin, you fall short. I'm not talking about that. That is not who you are. I'm talking about people who have allowed the evil, the darkness to enter into their hearts. That was what happened to Satan. The evil, the darkness entered into the heart of Satan. That's why it says in the word of God, when Judas handed Jesus over, it said that Satan entered into Judas' heart. I'm not talking about people that make mistakes. I'm talking about you becoming darkness. And that's when you have giving your heart over to something else that is not God. In the Bible, it talks about all the time people. That's why the disciples, a perfect example, Ananias and Sapphira, these were Christians. And they said, oh yeah, we sold everything and we gave you all the money. They lied to Paul. And Paul asked him right before they dropped dead. He says, why have you given your heart over to Satan? And he died. Because he lied to the Holy Spirit. He died. Him and his wife both died. Over what? Money. Greed. Money is not a bad thing. It's the love of money that corrupts the heart of man. I've seen people do things for money and I'm appalled. One day I will have a lot of money. But one thing I won't have, I will sell every last one of my possessions if it means that I get into heaven. I'll get rid of it. I told the Lord, I'd rather you not give it to me. I know when I get money, I'm gonna pretty much give it away. I'm going to bless other people with it because the money doesn't have me. God does. Yes, it's okay to make mistakes. Even God knows you're not perfect, but do not let the darkness enter into your heart because then God has to reject you. We are protecting our family. People think that God is harsh and angry and he doesn't want to let nobody in. No. God wants it says in the word, his desire is that nobody perish. His desire is that nobody perish. God doesn't rejoice in sending people to hell. It's what he has to do. Any parent understands what I'm saying. When you have a child and you want your child to play with other children, but you know that not all children are being raised the same. Not all children are making the same decisions as your child. And you have to prepare your child for the day that somebody might say something racist to them. Or you have to prepare your child for the day that somebody is going to hate them because of the call that God has on their life. And you have to prepare them for the hate, the hurt, and the whatever. There are things that I don't want to prepare my son for, but I have to because of the world he was born into. And because I love my child, I'm going to protect him by giving him wisdom. And you're angry with God because he don't want to let everybody into heaven because he's protecting his family. He's a good father. He's not a negligent father. A negligent father would let everybody in and just let them corrupt. And what's going to happen again? Another uprising. No, no, no. We will protect our family. Heaven is home. We can't just let anybody in. That's why you have to go through his son. You have to be changed. You have to have a desire to change. That's what we're looking for, a desire to do good. You don't have to be good. We're not good. We need Jesus to be good. Our works are like filthy rags before God. But we need people who have a heart to change, a desire to do the thing, to do the good in the land, a desire to be. Evil people cannot go into heaven because we're protecting our home. Heaven is home for me. Heaven is my family. When I visit heaven or when God allows me to visit heaven, it's home to me. It's like my brothers and sisters. It's home to me. And I would hate for somebody or somebody to come in that's like the evil that I've seen and get in there and begin to hurt people that are our family. So no, you cannot do witchcraft on God's children and be in his church and think that God's going to allow you into heaven. No. You can't be a pedophile, abusive, and doing things behind closing doors and be unrepentant and think you're going to make. No, you can't be racist and think that you're going to get a ticket into heaven. No, your heart is filthy. We don't want you there. We want what is pure, what is good, what is holy. Heaven is a good place, and we want good people there. I'm not saying perfect people because we are not perfect. I'm not perfect. We want good people there. That is our home. Heaven is home. And any good father, when you see an intruder, somebody who means your people harm, means your family harm, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to gatekeep your house. You're going to gatekeep your house. You're not going to let nothing that means your family harm come in. You're going to protect what is good. Me as a mother, I'm going to be right behind when I get married to the person that God has for me, I'm going to be right behind them. Nobody, baby, if you go down, they got to go through me next. Because nothing is getting to these children. I will fire every last round I got. I will die protecting these children. I will call heaven down and we will start a war over this house. And you think I'm crazy for saying this. My question to you is, why don't you feel this way about heaven? If you are just like me, a citizen of heaven, why are you not feeling the same way about your home, a place that you call home? Or do you not know where you're going when you die? Do you not know where you're going? And if you don't know where you're going, then we got bigger problems. We got bigger problems than you having a home. We need to get you on the track to heaven, or at least on the track to knowing that you're going there. We need to build your confidence in your faith. Because why don't you feel the same way about your home, about your family? If you are a Christian, you should feel this way about your home. The enemy has warped people's minds to thinking that God is just as hateful. No. Yes, God gets angry. Yes, God hates wickedness. But God is the most loving being I've ever met. Whenever I go to heaven, it's always a love party. It's always a love party. Always. It's one big love party. Everybody's always hugging. And there's no perversion there. We hug each other. They kiss you on the forehead. And it's not in a sexualized way. That's how I know that when Jesus washed their feet, it wasn't weird. It was love. We can kiss each other on the forehead. We can kiss each other's hands. We can hug each other and it not be demonic or perverse. It's not romantic. It's relational. It's like siblings. Not the incest kind. Me as a citizen of heaven, I know where I belong. I know that I am in this world but not of it. That's what Paul meant. I am in this world, but I'm not of it. I'm in a whole nother dimension. I visit heaven often, y'all, often. And that's my portion because I've been through a lot of hell. So you know what? I will go through all of it again just to get what I have now. I would because that's how amazing heaven is. When you get to heaven, it's literally going to be like everything you went through. You're not going to even remember the pain. You're not going to remember. I go to heaven and I come back healed. I come back healed from everything I've been through. So that's my portion. But as a citizen of heaven, as an ambassador of Christ, yes, ambassador. It says in the Word of God, we are ambassadors of Christ. We are ambassadors for heaven. I can say with my whole heart that I understand the heart of God with him not letting everybody in. And it's not because he doesn't want to. It's because he can't. He has to protect the new thing that he has built, that he is building. He has to protect it. He would not be a good God if he let everything and anything up in there. He will be letting another Satan in. If you have a wicked, evil, dark heart and you are unrepentant and you have not received his Father, you have not received his Son so that he can clean you up and prepare you for heaven, we can't let you in because you're going to come in and contaminate what God has built. We don't want a second round of this. We are protecting the uncorrupted heaven, earth, and bodies from wickedness. God has seen the fall of man. He has seen the fall of some of his angels that went with Satan. And we don't want that happening again. So no, this time around, we're gatekeeping. And not out of being harsh or being evil. No, we're gatekeeping to protect home. We are like any other country. We're not going to let anybody come in our country and just tear it up. We're not going to let anybody come in our country and abuse the people there. We're not going to let anybody come in the country and manipulate and harm home. This is home. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with this earth. This one will pass away. Y'all can do whatever. Y'all want to be evil on earth. But don't expect us to invite you to the next one. Don't expect us to invite you to the next one. And T. Jefferson, you have no wisdom. He created Satan, yes. He created you and me too. But just because he created us doesn't mean we always choose our creator. Satan did not choose his creator. He chose himself. He chose himself. So, no, I am not goofy. You are. When you get your wisdom up, then you can argue with me. But until then, be quiet and learn something so you can make it there. How does this see y'all? I could tell y'all are just rage baiting. How does this help your son? It helps my son a lot. My son is heavily guarded. Not only am I guarded by heaven, but my son is. I don't have to worry because heaven, do you know what God did because of what they did? Do you know what God is? Never mind. I'll leave that one unsaid. Do you know what will happen? Do you know? That's why some of my family members and his father is terrified now. Because they weren't expecting heaven to show up like that. They got their act together because God scared the hell out of them, literally. Yeah, all that wickedness ran from them. Because they said, wait a minute, God, yes, God does that. You think I'm worried? I'm a mother. I think about my son all the time. But do you know what God will set it off up in here over me and my child? We ain't no low-ranking family. We are heaven royalty. I know exactly whose I am and what I am. Even while I'm still learning, I know what I am. Even while I'm still learning about what I am. I'm human, yes, but I am multidimensional. And I know that. God will set it off. He has set it off. Do I need to post a video of what God did when they were racist to me in the court system? When they gave my son, I'm a mandated reporter. I'm a mandated reporter. That means that I am required to, I am trained. I have a certificate. I am trained to recognize abuse, signs of abuse, all this stuff. And they gave my child to somebody who, I have a clean record. No prior criminal history. I work with children. And they gave my child to somebody who has the record the size of Texas, including assault charges. Not to put my business out there, but it's the truth. Assault charges. That is demonic. Drunken assault at that. That shows a pattern of bad decision making. I'm not talking about somebody that makes a mistake and then no, several over and over and over again. Now it's my fault. It's not just his fault. It's my fault for laying down with this person and not using discernment. During this time, I was blinded by my own heartbreak. So I started dating this person as a form to heal. I've made mistakes too, and I admit that it's my fault too. Cause I knew better than to be fornicating. Before I met my child's father, I was I was serving in my church. I was celibate for almost going on 5 years. I wasn't dating anybody. It was just me and God in ministry. And then in the first month of dating this person, y'all, I got pregnant. Now, I don't regret my son, not one bit. This is my testimony. I don't regret my son, not one bit. He was a gift from God. I had dreams about my son prior. God, and God told me, he warned me. He said, Micaiah, if you go back to fornication, daughter, you're going to get pregnant. You're going to have a son. He told me that through a dream. I knew that fornicating was going to result in a child. I thought God was playing with me. I got pregnant. That's why I'm running from sex right now. Because God, I know that there's another baby coming. I've been having dreams. I know that when I get married, when me and my spouse have sex, it's not even a possibility that there's gonna be a child. A baby's gonna come. I'm a woman of God. I had to understand my womb is fertile. I can't just do whatever I want. I am good soil. When a seed is planted in me, it's going to bring forth something. Now, people who have reproductive issues, listen, I don't mean nothing against you, okay? That's the enemy attacking your womb, especially if you're a prophetic woman of God. That doesn't mean you're not a child of God. It's an attack of the enemy on your bloodline, on the extension of your bloodline. I've had a similar attacks too, but God healed me. Okay? Now, I know that I can't, whatever, I have to be careful who I lay with. I can't just be out here just having sex with any and everybody. No. When I had my son, that made me very cautious. Don't get me wrong. I've made mistakes in between but that made me cautious. Who I lay with matters. Who fathers my next children matters. I don't want to keep making the same mistake over and over again. Who I marry matters. I can't just marry anybody. If that means I have to wait till I'm late in my then so be it. I want the man that God has me. I don't care about trends. The trend now is to get married. And my prayer is that anybody who's engaged, that they are engaged with the right person. But I don't care about trends. I don't care about any of that stuff. I do me, and I've always have been like that since I was a child. So I'm more concerned with God. I want the right person. I don't want just anybody. I don't want just a ring just to say, oh, look at me. No, I don't even want people to know about my engagement. I don't even want people to know. Who I have sex with matters. Who I marry matters. Because this is going to bring forth the next generation of those who might be called to an assignment like mine. And we have to raise them correctly. I don't want my children to go through the stuff that I went through. So I want two good people that have a heart to love and give to raise these babies. So no, I can't do what everybody else does. My assignment is different. I can't just marry anybody. My assignment is different. This call that I have is weighty. I need somebody who understands that. There are some days where I may need lifting. There are some days, there are some months that I have to wake up maybe 3-4 times in the night to pray. Where I have a dream, and immediately after that dream, I'm waking up so I can pray. So I can cancel stuff out. It may be 3 in the morning, and husband, I might have to start yelling because something is in the house that is not supposed to be there, that is demonic, and I have to take authority over that thing. So sorry, honey. I know you gotta work. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be, but baby, there is an attack happening, and I gotta yell a little bit to let this demon know he's not gonna come up here and do that. And because we will have anointed children, I have to get up and I have to anoint their beds, their pillows, anoint their heads. Yes, I'm going to have to anoint our doors and windows to protect our home from demonic stuff. I've had a target on me since I was a child. I was 5 years old when I had the dream about 9/11. 5. I dreamed of it happening before it happened. I didn't understand at the time because I was a first generational prophet. Now, people in my family were prophetic. I don't know if they were prophets, but I know that I know everybody in my family, a lot of people in my family dream. But I used to dream of catastrophic events of people. I used to have dreams of things happening. And God would, you know, now I'm like a human alert system from heaven. At least that's what I joke about. And I don't dream just bad things. I dream good things too. I don't just dream of bad things. But sometimes God warns me and he tells me, go warn them. But I have good dreams too. They're not always bad. Like I had 2 good dreams last night. I had a few warfare dreams that I had to get up and cancel some stuff, but I had 2 dreams yesterday and it was kind of funny. I had fun in those dreams. But heaven is home for some people. When God becomes your everything, you will do whatever you have to do to protect your relationship with him. And God is the same way about us. I'm trying to make my bed up. Hold on. I'm making my bed. But when heaven is your home, you're going to do whatever you have to do to protect your home. You're going to do whatever you have to do to protect your family. When you love something and something means something to you, you're going to protect it. You're going to protect it, point blank, period. You want to ask a man, when you know how a man loves you, how you can tell if a man loves you. Well, it's not any of all things, but you want to know how you can tell when a man loves you, when he wants to protect you. Love protects. I'm not talking about love smothers. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about a weird, but love protects. Love protects. When all that stuff happened and went down with my son, my mother mode kicked in and my prayer life changed. My prayer life changed. And it made me tap into a different part of heaven. And I'm going to tell you something. I said, God, if I have to start a supernatural war over this child, I will do it, Father. As long as I have your permission, as long as I have your permission, what happened to me and my son was demonic. It wasn't because nothing I did. And I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, have I done anything outside of, fornication, things I've already repented for? Me and my child's father never lived together. We never lived together. When he would come, it was just me and Michael. When he would come over, he would come see the baby when he would get off work. And I've never kept my son from his father. He would get, we did summers. I'm telling you guys my testimony. I never kept my son from him. I have text messages. I can show you guys the truth. I would let him go with his dad during the summers. We never had a problem until a few years ago. Not even a few years ago, maybe a year ago, when I found bruising on his leg and I found some mark. I said, wait a minute. And I told his father, I said, I would never keep your child from you, but if it's a safety issue, you'll never see your son again. Because the thing is, you gotta understand, once I found out that this man was lying to me and he had a history of violent behavior, I said, that behavior cannot, we can't, no. Whatever you did in your past life, that's gonna have to change. Because no, not around this child, you're not. You're not gonna be behaving and doing whatever you want to do, not with this one. I can't speak for the other children you have because he has other children, but this one, no. This child, no. And so, me and him got into it. And at the time, he had a girlfriend who did not like me because she was jealous. The thing is, I've talked to this person, and me and her was cool up until when me and him got into it. I'm telling my business because, listen, I don't got nothing to hide. And I got text messages. I can show y'all this. And all of them teamed up, along with some family members who do not like me, my mother included, and they lied on me. They told the court things that weren't true when I wasn't there. They set me up. And that ain't the first thing they did. That ain't the only thing they did. They did other stuff too. And I'm just telling my testimony. This is what happened to me. That ain't the only thing they set me up for. There were other things that I got set up for. Oh, I didn't mean to turn the TV on. For me to have a TV, I don't watch a lot of it. I watch like cooking shows. Like, I watch I like, baking shows and stuff like that. Because I be learning like stuff about me learning from that. Hold on. Well, I guess I don't need to fold this cover because I'll leave this one unfolded. Because I'm probably going to curl up with, what time is it? But yeah, I went through other stuff too. That ain't the only thing I went through. I went through stalking. I went through a lot of stuff where people were setting me up. I had old friends setting me up. And all these people, I'm telling you, listen, I asked the Lord, I said, Lord, is it me? A lot of times people think that, oh, you go through stuff because you did something. No, I didn't do anything. I genuinely, listen, y'all know me. I'm going to tell the truth. If I did something, I did something. I just got on here and told you I fornicated with his father and I became pregnant. And God warned me. He warned my little butt that I was going to get pregnant. He told me, he's like, Micaiah, you have sex again, you're going to get pregnant. And after I had my son, I was like, oh, there's that. God wasn't playing. He was dead serious. He was dead serious. And I got pregnant, y'all. And I had a dream about my son. And I thought it wasn't my child because I'm like, this kid looks mixed. I'm like, I like black men, so this must be one of my sisters. This must be one of my sisters. I'm like, I'm like, she might marry one, but I know me personally, I always loved black men. And my child's father is black. So he just came out, my son has two black parents. He just came out with red hair and really light eyes. Like his eyes were like a green, I forgot. I don't even know how to explain the color of his eyes when he first came out. They were like green, but sometimes they were blue. And then they changed to light brown as he got older. So, yeah. But he has two black parents. He just came out light with red hair. And when he came out, I knew he was special. But I'm going to get off here, y'all. I don't got nothing to hide because this is really who I am. Like, it's not my case is not public record. It's not my child's case. And I like it like that for a reason. But like I said, my child's father, I got all his stuff pulled up on case.net. I don't have to lie. Everything I have screenshots of everything. You can pull this stuff on case.net. This is easy stuff that the GAL could have found, but they screwed me over. So it's like, you know, so now I have to do this court stuff again. But I'm okay with that. I already know the outcome, and God already told me how it's gonna end. But I'm gonna get off here. God bless you.